What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Hennessy. Tonight, joined by the usual crew. What else could you expect? We got Brandon DeGennaro, Paraskevas Xenophontos, and Brandon Kramer. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
How about you?
I'm solid, but before we get into what we want to talk about tonight, which is exuberant topic, exuberant, you like that? Let's just shout out this quick little book for a hot minute. It's called The Men and Moments That Made the New York Yankees the Big 50. It has chapters highlighting fan favorites of the Yankees, such as Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, Derek Jeter, and even comes as close in recent times as to Aaron Judge. So it's a solid book. Triumph Books actually gave us a solid code to provide you guys with. Title of the book will be on the screen here. You could use code Unhinged27 at checkout for 27% off your order. Tell me that's not a solid deal. To get a book about the top 50 men and moments of the New York Yankees. Tell me. And once you use the 27% off code, your total is less than $15.
Wow.
Tell me that's not a bargain. What else are you doing in quarantine? Tell me, Brian. No, I want to know what Brian's doing because he could use a good book to read right now. Exactly. So 27 titles, 27% off. We will leave the link in the description. Exactly. Brian's tardy every single time we do this. So let's get into the topic we want to hit on today. And that is the new plan that MLB has kind of pitched, which honestly we talked about the old plan a couple weeks ago. It involved them playing in Arizona, and it seemed like it was illogical. But now this one seems like it's a little more on the realistic end. The teams are split into three different divisions: East, West, and Central. So there's no American League, no National League. There's a universal DH. The games are going to be played in teams' home parks. They're going to be playing at least 100 games, hopefully. And I think that this is a much better idea than what they originally had. I'm not sure if it can stick, but what do you guys think about it?
I mean, the Arizona plan was problematic because of the weather there. People didn't really look into just how hot it gets there.
Yeah.
I think when we had Stowers on the podcast a while ago, I think he talked about the Arizona weather. But this is a bit better because, I mean, you're getting to play at your home stadium, so there's some sense of normalcy. And, I mean, it's baseball, but there's just so many questions that are going to need to be answered because now with no kind of divisions, you're going to have to format the postseason. But, I mean, hey, it's baseball. It's news, but it's kind of hard to stick with me because everyone was saying the Arizona plan was going to work. We saw how that turned out. But, I mean, this could work. I mean, at least we get baseball at the home parks.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea because I think the goal is to start it by July 4th. But the whole thing is Dr. Flossie said now is not a good time to start up sports again, this whole thing. But going back to what Brandon said, there is a lot of questions because if you're trying to avoid traveling, how are all those teams in each division going to travel from one state to the other? And I know they're going to have to wear masks and everything, but if you're giving them the opportunity to play in their home stadiums, how do you go about with the whole traveling thing? Do they have to wear masks? What are the precautions? Honestly, if you were to look at all of these things, I would say they should play in one stadium of each thing. So for like the West, they should either play in Houston or Arizona. In the Central, they definitely should play in Milwaukee. And the East, either in Tampa or Miami. Any place that has a dome so the weather doesn't affect it and all the players can just stay in one hotel and just travel back and forth without having to deal with any of the precautions. But if baseball were to start off July 4th, I have no problems with that at all.
I'll have a problem if we have to play every game in Tropicana Field.
Yeah, that could be rough.
Awful.
Tropicana Field is literally the worst place in the world. Like, I would never plan on visiting, nor do I ever want to visit.
It's a shithole. It's a shithole.
That's a nice way of putting it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
every time the Yankees go down there, you always know that there's going to be some tomfoolery going on. I think at one point last season, it was like there was a blackout for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, in the middle of the game, the lights just went off. Like, that's great.
The best thing about that was John and Susan were just having a conversation.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
the
having a
lights
normal
came on.
conversation.
Oh, the lights went out.
I remember that
But
game
yeah.
came back on. Estrada hit a bomb, but then we got out of that fucking hellhole.
Yeah.
It's definitely like I couldn't see if it does happen, like if this plan does take into place, I couldn't imagine like one stadium holding multiple games like as suggested in the original Arizona plan. I think if they did do it, each team would play in their own home stadium, no matter where that stadium is and no matter what the infection rate in that area is. If baseball is going to come back, the Yankees will be playing their home games in Yankee Stadium. And because my logic is the Yankees would take that as a negative if a team like the Rays and Nats and Marlins get to play in their home stadiums, but they don't. So it's a disadvantage on their end, and I don't know if they would be okay with playing 100 games with, let's just say, Tropicana Field as their home stadium.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, if they were playing all those games in Tropicana Field, it probably wouldn't. They wouldn't have fans, so it's not like there would really be a home field advantage as much.
Yeah, I
like the plan.
I mean, they don't have fans in the first place.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, they're used to it. Well, Tropicana Field is like home games for Yankees anyway.
Exactly. They have more Yankee fans there than Rays fans, probably.
Yeah.
Another thing. Was going to work. Let me just finish.
No, go on.
No, I'm saying if MLB were to go forward with this, I think they would use the whole month of May to fully plan out how they would do it. Like maybe
probably May and June at this point.
That's the big thing. It's that planning part because you can have an idea that everyone agrees on, but then at the end of the day, you got to get backed by health officials. And if some of these doctors are saying it's not the best idea, then yeah, like the report that came out that NBA teams, players could use the facilities now. A lot of people didn't realize that George M. Steinbrenner Field has actually been open to the players. Literally on Tommy Canley's stream, he literally said DJ LeMahieu went to bed early to go hit take BP. I mean,
yeah,
the players are still working, but at the
I
end
think
of the
they
day,
have to go alone, right? They're not allowed to go in groups.
But if they're social distancing, how are they all going to sit in the dugout? And if they're going to have expanded rosters, you're going to have a lot more players packed into the dugout. So there's a lot of things to answer.
Yeah, the expanded rosters thing is a whole nother story. But I don't know if you guys saw this, but another report came out a few hours ago actually that there's not going to be a minor league season. So the only way is there would be like a developmental league kind of thing. I don't know how that would work.
It's all money.
But the expanded rosters would be beneficial, but that would only be for the guys that are already higher up in the leagues. We talked to Sean Semple, who was with the AA Yankees, I think, last month, and his main concern was if there's no minor league season this year, which it doesn't look like there's going to be, how's he going to get his innings in? Every season he's supposed to advance further with his innings limit, so eventually he gets to a point where he's majorly ready, in quotes. If he's not able to play a season this year, all of that progress just gets diminished, and he's going to have to start from square one again.
He just came off Tommy John surgery too, so.
Yeah, when did he get it? I think he got in college, maybe.
I think he got it in 2013.
Yeah, a while ago.
He got it a while ago. No, but the big thing with that is that's honestly a lot of money issues because there's no minor league season. I doubt. And I mean, they'll probably pay them, but probably less than what they're getting now.
Yeah.
So it all honestly comes down to money because if you're playing 100 games,
but they're not even getting anything now. That's the thing. They're making less than minimum wage, as it is. So I couldn't imagine. If
there's 100 games, you're gonna have to kind of cut player salaries a bit. It's just there's a lot of people think that if this plan gets approved, that we'll get baseball 2 weeks after. They probably need a good solid month to plan out because there are just so many things.
Well, don't forget you're gonna have to test everybody too.
Yeah, and you can't take away those tests from the public. I think right now only 2% of New York has had like that antibody test. But
the thing with that antibody test is it can tell you if you had it, but 50% of it is not true.
Exactly.
It can be false too. So it can say you had it, but really you don't even know if you had it. So they can't really trust that. So
isn't it also true? Like if you had it, like that's not 100% guarantee you can't get it again, right?
Yeah. I think
So
they're saying you can't, even if you had it and you like suffered through it, like if you're like older and you suffered, there's a good possibility by next year you can get it again. Because they're saying by next year it's going to be even more aggressive than it
I
is
say
right
at this point, just MLB go bankrupt. We don't need to watch baseball anymore. It's fine. No, I'm kidding. But
Hey, I mean, if I'm honestly hoping, let's say the plan goes to shit and the one person that gets blamed is Manfred, and then we somehow can get
I'm
him
okay
out
with
of
it.
being
That
commissioner,
would be great.
then I'm okay with that because
There's a
honestly,
silver lining there.
one thing people keep forgetting is the players, the collective bargaining agreement ends at the end of this year.
Yeah.
And if there's something the players all agree with is they hate Manfred, so if there's something they can do to turn this and get Manfred out of office, fucking do it.
Yeah.
If they do play baseball in July, do you think we'll be seeing 7-inning?
No, I think we'll get
No,
9
I
innings.
think they'll play
We'll get
9 innings. Yeah. My thing is they're going to try to make this as normal as possible. So even though there is a universal DH and because the rosters are going to be expanded and they're not going to be playing the teams they usually play, I think they're still trying to make the game itself some sort of normalcy. I don't think they're going to take the minor league route and start extra innings with runners on second base. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to keep the game normal. It's just all the aspects around it are going to be altered to fit this crazy lifestyle.
That's true. At the same time, though, they might want to try those things out now, since if
It's
we're
possible.
people aren't going to consider this a real year. Like if there are playoffs and there is some kind of championship, we're not going to call it the World Series. And if it is, no one's going to believe that like that's
It'd be called the pandemic series.
legitimate thing. Yeah,
like
they
that.
probably have to come up with some
I like
other name
that.
for it. But so this would be the perfect
Copyright it before
opportunity to
someone
test
steals
out
it.
those other changes.
I just came up with this idea for the playoffs.
Go for it.
How about the top 2 teams for each like division make the playoffs, and whoever has the best record has a bye the first round, and the 2 number ones of the other leagues play each other, and the 2 other, and like I don't know, something like that. Something.
I mean, they're
those
definitely
lines.
going to have to come up with a different playoff format because the ALDS, the ALCS World Series, that, as you know, it is not happening in any sort of normalcy this
Oh,
year.
I didn't think of that. That's going to be
Yeah.
that's another
So,
thing you got to think about.
yeah, because I don't understand how that's going to work. But speaking of divisions, let's take a look at the potential division the Yankees would be in. It would just be called the East, and the Yankees, along with the Orioles, Red Sox, Marlins, Mets, Phillies, Pirates, Rays, Jays, and Nats will all be in that division. To be honest,
That's awesome.
that looks like an absolute cakewalk for the Yankees.
Yeah, I see.
Looking at that
two
on
teams.
paper, I see
They're the 2 worst teams.
I see
in the
2
league.
teams that are probably contenders. And that's the Rays
Yeah.
and the Nats, maybe. The Phillies, maybe. The Mets, maybe. But these are all mediocre teams that we're looking at.
Yeah.
It's also the only thing about this division that could be a little bit scary is the mediocrity in it. There's the only bad teams are the Orioles. You could say the Pirates are really bad. Yeah, so there's 3
the Marlins
really
are pretty
teams
bad too.
Yeah, so there's 3 really
breaking
bad
news
teams. And the
from
rest are
Jeff
mediocre.
Passan at the moment, and he tweeted, contrary to the reports, Major League Baseball has not canceled the minor league baseball season, according to a spokesperson.
There we go. So that's some
Okay.
good news.
Well, that's good
Mid-podcast. We like that.
All right.
But what do you guys think about that potential division?
It's a cakewalk. I mean, the Nationals are not going to be they could be as good, but I mean, you're losing Anthony Rendon, who people never really gave him enough credit on those national teams. He kind of kept them going. But there's one thing, though. The Nationals have an amazing pitching staff in terms of their starting rotation. I mean, of course, with the Yankees last year, they faced the Rays. But besides that, in the division, there was not really like good starting pitching. So I think they would actually get a taste of good starting pitching. I mean, you have Glasnow, Morton, and Snell, and you have Scherzer, Strasburg, and Patrick Corbin. But besides that, they would be fine. Oh, wait, the Mets are in it, aren't they? Yeah, so we would actually have to go up against DeGrom.
Like,
that's what I wanted to touch on. I wanted to touch on how the Yankees-Mets rivalry will actually mean something now. That's like a rivalry that has kind of been like non-existent. It's kind of been like in the fans' heads. Players never really cared. But now, Yankees versus Mets could actually mean like trophies and stuff. So I think that's kind of cool. Red Sox, usual, O's, Pirates, Jays. Same shit, honestly. It's really just the Mets and
The
Red
Jays
Sox
are
that
going
I'll
to
be
be
looking forward
scary
to.
soon.
The Jays,
Yeah,
they have a young, dangerous young core.
If the Jays bring up Nate Pearson and he is decent, he's a starting pitcher that throws 104 with a wipeout slider. He's terrifying. I mean, I've seen some video on him. If he can just control his stuff, he's going to be up there for a while. But besides him, they don't really got much in their rotation.
Yeah. Para, what were you going to say before?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I always interrupt people, and it's like one of the biggest pet peeves.
No, you're good.
But I was gonna say it's gonna be pretty good to have Didi and Joe Girardi back at Yankee Stadium, and we can actually watch it on TV.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, you know what excites me about the Phillies? Bryce Harper in the Bronx. I mean, it's a scary thought, but like that's pretty exciting. Like, I don't know. I feel like he could do damage.
He would go to Washington a lot. I don't know. He's still going to Washington a lot, but
yeah. Well, no, he would go a lot more because you're playing. How many teams are in this division? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So there's 10 teams in this division. If you're playing 100 games, you're playing 10 games against each of these teams, right? If my math is right.
Yeah, we'd have to. You
have to play the Mets 10
a lot
times
too. Yeah, you
face
the
Kansas makes it back to the field.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, I could see the Yankees straight cruising through this. This new plan is 100% better than the one that was pitched in Arizona, and I think when we brought up the Arizona plan, I think one of us mentioned, it might have been me. I think I was like, this is only the beginning, so this is like a baby plan, and then this is just going to lead up to something better. So I could only imagine what they have closer. A month from now. Yeah, we're definitely coming close to a actually legit plan taking place, and I have to admit, I'm kind of excited.
Realistic plan that.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the 2021 season? You think that one's going to be normal?
Yeah, I think it'll be normal in terms of they have a spring training with fans. Not sure just yet about fans, but I think
isn't that a crazy thought? Like, the 2021 season might not have fans. Like we're talking like a full calendar year from now.
World Baseball Classic though, that's gonna be really interesting because that's something every 4 years. So a lot like fans are really into that. Yeah. So that's gonna be. I mean, you could probably make it work by then. Depends on how far we get in this, but it'll be close. But I think in terms of baseball, we'll probably have a normal season. That's if there isn't a strike, but
yeah, I doubt. I mean, with all that's going on, I doubt they're gonna have a strike, to be honest. But Para, what was that?
Is it bad to say that it's sad to think that possibly by 2022, 2023, that's the next time you'll see fans in sporting events?
I don't think it's going to be that long. Like, if we're talking 2023, that we still have no fans, I think that we have much more serious issues than baseball.
I think we'll be getting fans in the summer of 2021.
Yeah. I think we'll be getting fans as soon as, like, winter, maybe.
The vaccine.
I think, I want to say January, February, we could start seeing fans in sports. I know NBA plays during that time. I don't know when NHL, do they play during winter? Yeah, so they'll probably have
the
fans.
NHL plays during the winter?
I don't watch hockey. I don't know. What do you think I am, like a sports almanac? No, it's just
But it
baseball.
It is gonna be a different vibe because if you go to any sporting event, there's always long lines for food, always long lines to get
it's a lifestyle that we've never experienced before. It's I don't know how to like the kind of disinfectant you're gonna have to have in that stadium. Stadiums are filthy. Like, let's just all come out on agreement in this. Like, even Yankee Stadium, which is one of the top baseball stadiums in the world, you walk down the aisles where the seats are, there's popcorn everywhere, there's half-eaten hot dogs, and it just seems like a breeding ground for germs, if you ask me. And, like, I don't know. I couldn't imagine when fans get back there. Regardless, I couldn't imagine fans coming back to Yankee Stadium this year. I think this new plan is kind of awesome. I think we touched on everything on the new plan that I want to touch on today, unless you guys had anything else to add.
I think that was pretty much it.
Solid. So next time we see you guys, we will hopefully have some good news when it comes to baseball returning. Hopefully it's not about minor league possibly being canceled, all this other nonsense. But don't forget, go buy the Big 50 Yankees. We'll leave the link in the description. Use code Unhinged27 for 27% off. We will see you guys next week.